3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's up? Dr. H here, and I'm bringing you a game of Domination on Summit. First off, I want to talk a little bit about this channel. This channel is a dual effort between me and my friend Drfreezeburn. We're going to be posting gameplays, commentaries, maybe a montage if we can gather the editing skills to be able to do a montage, and just random shit we find interesting. I might even do some stuff without gameplays, like some random video logs that of topics I find interesting. So yeah, just be prepared for a big smorgasbord of content to come your way. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about the gameplay real quick. I'm using the AK-47 dual mag. I use the dual mag for the extra ammo, not for the extra reload speed, because I'm already using sleight of hand and it's fast enough. Kill streaks are UAV, napalm. Napalm is excellent for objective-based games, which you probably already know. And with a single napalm, cut them off in their spawn. If you spawn trap them in A, which is pretty much the objective of Domination on Summit, is to spawn trap them right in A. If you drop it, sure, I'll point out where to drop it. Actually, you'll see right there, right where I dropped it there. It's just going straight across the map, directly in front of this building. You can pretty much cut off all 4 exits, and they can't really leave their spawn for like 5 seconds, and so that's pretty helpful. And it gets you a couple kills. I think I get a quad with this one, but it's the slowest quad in the world. It's a quad that like lasts like 4 seconds. Anyway, so that's what you want to do here, is just spawn trap in A for 9 minutes and just lay down the anal rape and shitfest. That guy is like, oh, I'm gonna be crouching tiger, hidden dragon, and sneak into this building, and he gets shot in the ass because he's stupid. So yeah, what I want to talk about today is a couple movies I've been watching recently. The first one is called Cube. I'm watching movies off Netflix, and Netflix has a pretty decent library of movies. They're not very recent. Like the movies will only be on there after they're on DVD for quite some time, and I get RPG'd by that asshole. But yeah, but there's a good decent amount of good movies on Netflix. And yeah, I've been watching a couple of them, and I'm gonna talk about a few of them today because you've all probably heard the like control the engagement. This is how you get a better KD. This is how you do this and that. And I'm like, yeah, right. I've got a 1.7 KD. You probably don't want to be listening to me talking about KD, do you? But you might want to listen to me talking about other shit, because I might be interesting in that matter. So the first movie is called Cube, and in this movie called Cube, what happens is there's like 6 people, and they're stranded in this. They're trapped really in this like giant cube maze. The way the maze works, it's one giant cube composed of like thousands of smaller cubes. But the giant cube's like 400 feet across, and like the smaller cubes are like 12 feet across. And the whole story behind the movie is they're trying to escape this trap or this maze. And every once in a while, the way they travel through cubes is there are these small doors, either in the centers of every side of the cubes, on the top, bottom, and on all the sides, and they can crawl through these doors to move on to the next cube. Only problem is some of the cubes are lethally booby trapped, so they might get like gassed or like burned or like cut up if they go through like the wrong cube. And the whole point of the movie is them trying to solve like which cube is booby trapped, which is not, and trying to find an exit through the cube. It's pretty interesting to see the solutions they come up with, and like the mental torment they have to go through, but being trapped with like 5 strangers in like a life and death situation, and the relationships that like ensue between the characters, and it's pretty interesting. Only like nitpick I have about the movie is the fact that there's this one guy that who's an actor, he's one of the main characters. I didn't like him at all. This one black guy. I don't like him because I'm not saying I don't like him because he's black. He's a shitty actor. But other than that, the movie's excellent. It's called Cube. I suggest going to watch it. It's very good. It's on Netflix. If you want to go watch it there. Another good movie. What else do I like? Oh, Office Space. This is a comedy. It's pretty funny. It's about these 3 guys who work in this this office building for this computer software company, and their jobs are really boring and mundane. 2 guys are like software engineers, and another guy is just he said his job at the moment is, because the new. So what the banks did in their software to save like space on the data is like when it came to a year, instead of putting 1993, they put 93. That's it. But now the new millennium's coming, they have to switch that up. because it's not going to work anymore. So what the guy has to do is his entire job is to go through all the bank's like software and the coding in the software and change all those 1999s, 1998s, 1993s, and all those like 93s, those like just abbreviated dates to like 2000, and like to change them to 4-digit dates. That's his entire job. Just go through thousands and thousands of lines of code. Like their jobs are boring and shitty. And what happens is this one guy has this computer virus that he's made since like he's had it for a while now, that it helps him like steal money from the banks and from the company. And so because of certain situations that happen in the movie, they decide they want to implement this virus, and it's quite interesting what happens. It's funny, and I thought it was a charming movie, and I enjoyed it. It's called Office Space. I suggest going to check that one out. The third movie I want to talk about, and it's the last one I want to talk about, it's probably my favorite of the three. It's a documentary, actually. It's called, the title of the movie is This Film Is Not Yet Rated. And it's about the rating system for movies in the States. Like, there are 5 ratings a movie can receive: G, PG, PG-13, R, and NC-17. And an NC-17 is pretty much like the death of a movie. Like, to get that rating is like your movie's not going to be watched, and your movie's not going to be it's not going to make a lot of money. And the reason behind this is if a movie gets an NC-17 rating, it means that movie is like really crude and horrible, or like there's some like sexual profanities in the movie that shouldn't be, that's excessive or something, or that is found to be excessive by the rating board. And the reason I stop here is I'm sending text messages, and anyway, what happened is the production companies will not give you funding to promote and market your movie, and so no one's gonna know it exists, no one's gonna go and see it, and not a lot of theaters are probably gonna host that movie in their theater anyway. So yeah, it talks about how like the faults in the movie rating system, and like how there's a bias in determining what movie gets an NC-17 and what gets an R, because a movie is far better off getting an R than it is getting an NC-17. So yeah, and it talks about the flaws in that system, and it talks about how they're controlling the media through how they're censoring and controlling what is being broadcast using these ratings. And it's quite interesting to see this kind of like play out, and see because it actually turns out that the people who rate the movies aren't trained in any fashion. They're a totally anonymous group of people who are just picked, and they're not trained. They're just like, all right, you've been picked to do this job. You can sit down and watch this movie, and what rating do you think it deserves? They don't really give a guideline on what it is. It's pretty stupid. There's actually just one movie that gets the NC-17 just because you see a woman's during one of the sex scenes in the movie. There isn't like any like hardcore stuff showing. Just during one of the sex scenes in the movie, you see a woman's pubic hair for like 4 seconds, and it's nice pubic hair too. It's not like a forest and like there's shit like growing out of it. It's just like a nice little like landing strip, and it's just the top of it too. And you see it for 4 seconds, and it gets an NC-17, and it's pretty ridiculous what they do. The things they censor, and like one of the movies was censored because the sexual acts in the movie were showing like homosexual sexual acts, like 2 guys getting on and 2 girls getting on, and because of that the movie got an NC-17, and there was really not much the director could do about that. So yeah, I found that movie pretty interesting. It's called This Film Is Not Yet Rated. Oh, interesting little tidbit about this. That movie actually received an NC-17 because of some of the clips it used from other movies that received NC-17s. But where I live in Canada, that movie got a 14A rating, which is pretty much saying that if you're 14, you can go watch the movie in theater, which is really funny to me. Canada's a lot more lenient on the movie ratings than the States is. Anyway, that's the end of the game. I think the final score is 53-7. Anyway, hope you enjoy this. Comment, rate, subscribe, and if you subscribe, you'll see a lot of videos similar to this one that will entertain you further. Thank you. Good day to you, sir, or woman, female. Goodbye.